Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day to all participants and teachers. Thank you for attending these sessions and welcome to my paper presentations. I am Siti Norazima binti Haji Muhammad from Sekolah Rendah Datuk Osman, Brunei Darussalam. The title is The Impact of a Teacher Professional Development Cycle, TPDC, to Teachers Dialogic Teaching in a Brunei Darussalam Primary Schools. Here is the content, which divided into 5 chapters that are Introduction, Literature Review, Methodology, and Findings and Discussions, and the last chapter, Conclusion, which include Recommendation and Implications. Chapter 1. As the introduction, Brunei Vision 2035 is to build individuals' capacity and develop high-quality human resources. To build student competencies, sophisticated ways of teaching and relevant PDs are required. This is also being emphasized in SDG 4 Sustainable Development Goals, which is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education for all. This is background of the study. In 2014, MOE developed Brunei Teacher Standards (BTS) to support Brunei Vision 2035 education strategy. Therefore, teacher PDs should be focused and improved. In 2017, our MOE introduced Literacy and Numeracy Coaching Program (LNCP) in order to enhance the pedagogical practice through a collaborative environment. Then in the same year, Teaching for Mastery Framework (TFM) was published as a guideline for Bruneian teachers. So the purpose of the TFM is to clarify the expectation for effective teaching in lesson structure, dialogic teaching, learning task design, assessment for learning. Significance of the studies. A, as source of reference to relevant authorities, B, as key ideas to stakeholders, and C, as a reference to planned sustainable program. The problem statement. It was reported that my school had inconsistent PDs and teacher had low teaching performance in dialogic teaching. That is grade 1, unsatisfactory, and grade 2, satisfactory. This dialogic teaching comprises of methods of teacher questionings, types of question teacher asks, how teacher responds to students' answer, and how teacher engage the whole class. So the purpose of these studies are to examine at each of 5 phases of TPDC and to see if there are any differences in teacher performance appraisal scores after attending TPDC. And here are my 3 research questions. Next, limitations of this study. In July 2021, COVID-19 outbreak in Brunei Darussalam and unexpected shutdown of all schools. So the effect result from the TPDC could not be calculated, and analyzed on that time. Also, this study has small sample size that cannot be generalized to other schools. Then we move to the second chapter, literature review. Begin with the teacher professional development. According to these researchers, teacher professional development is about to be reconceptualized. So it means that PD should be in a new or different way that encourage teacher to have active professional learning and work collaboratively with their colleagues and expert teachers. Next is the characteristics of effective PDs. I compare the features according to the 3 researchers here. That is Linda Darling-Hammond, Laura M. Desmond, and Richard Dufour. Darling-Hammond and Desmond has almost same features of effective PDs, which are content-focused, active learning, and collaborations. Then a model of teacher professional development cycle, TPDC, by Souza, Lopez, and Famcush, 2015, a study from Brazil. It divided into 5 pieces: orientation, exploration, application, analysis, and reflection. With these models' ability to improve teacher professional practice, this TPDC model I adapted to teachers in my school. Next, I talk about what is dialogic teaching according to the founder Alexander 2008, and how it practices in the classroom based on the TFN and BTS TPA. Next, I have created the conceptual framework on how the research problem will be explored and solved. Began with this TPDC cycle and incorporated with active learning, collaboration, content focus, and support by expert teachers. As the PD policy, the teachers need to be as learners, collaborators, observers, and reflective practitioners. Then, due to this cycle of mastering the dialogic teaching practices, it will increase teacher knowledge, skills, teacher instruction, as well as increase teacher performance. Then it will develop to increase teacher self-esteem, which all this will enhance their TPA. When they have strong self-esteem and self-development, it will improve the outcome of the students and the school that lead to the progress of student academy. Next chapter is methodology. The research design for this study is an action research and use mixed method approach. This study was conducted to evaluate the effectiveness of the PDC program. In this research, it had pre-data and post-data to determine a best data that can be used as point of comparison. Then the setting is in Brunei Darussalam, Brunei Mara District, at a government primary school in Kampung Lambat Kiri. It is urban and residential area, involve all 7 grades teachers from preschool and year 1 to year 6. The participants are 40 primary teachers in my school. They were divided into 6 groups to do the activities in TPDC. Here is the procedure. All teachers are trained according to the TPDC model. The first phase of the cycle is orientation. The coaches did the refresher PD on DT and then created teachers working group to prepare a dialogic teaching or DT micro teaching. Phase 2 is the exploration where the teachers learn and prepare DT micro teaching using BTS TPA descriptors as the guideline for them to do the research of resources and do the planning. Third phase is application, where the teacher need to implement DT in their individual classes and being observed by their peers from other group. Phase 4 is analysis, where the teacher analyze their peers' DT implementation using the observation checklist and report their finding during the sharing session, which will be attended by all teachers. The final phase is the reflection, where the school admins and coaches meet and then review TPA result and identify the weakness area. Next, data collection and data analysis. This table shows how the data were collected and analyzed for each research question. For data collection of RQ1, I have distributed questionnaires to all 40 teachers by sharing the link of the Google form. The questionnaires divided into 2 sections, that is personal details and the teacher participations on the 5 phases of TPDC and its characteristics. RQ2, I used 6 semi-structured interviews for randomly selected 6 teachers for each group. I used Zoom apps to interview teachers and record their answers. I acknowledge them about the recordings and the purpose of it. Last, RQ3, I used DT peer observation checklist to see the implementation in the classroom. Then I use pre and post data of TPA in year 2020 and 2021. For data analysis, I analyze the data of RQ1 by downloading it from the Google form and use SPSS as the descriptive statistic to find out the frequencies. For RQ2, I listen to the recorded interviews, then transcribe. Then I read and examine the transcripts, search for the patterns and theme. For RQ3, I analyze the data of TPA 2020 and 2021, specifically on dialogic teaching, and did the comparison to see the impact. Then chapter 4 is about findings and discussion. For RQ1, what are characteristics in each phase of the TPDC on dialogic teaching? The findings are all teachers had positive responses toward all the characteristics in every phase. Here's some of the SPS as a result that I only extract one sample characteristic for each phase, which has the highest response of agree and strongly agree. These are the sample of orientation and exploration phase. Then here the applications and analysis phase. Finally, the reflection phase. So for the discussion, according to Garfield and Benziv, 2008, the establishment of a collaborative environment is important to facilitate change in teaching practice. For my study, it discovered that collaborative teaching design recognized the need to improve teachers' knowledge on dialogic teaching. Then, teachers able to assess students' perceptions and carefully evaluate their own lessons. Finally, dialogic teaching practices can be improved through collaborative reading. For RQ2, what are teachers' perceptions regarding the TPDC on dialogic teaching? The findings, there are 4 themes of teachers' perception on TPDC. That is theme 1, different types of questioning for different student ability. Theme 2, learn ideas from different subjects. Theme 3, collaborative learning, gain new knowledge. Theme 4, TPDC leads to all teachers' involvement. So according to Harris and Jones, professional learning communities are formed when a group of teachers collaborate with the goal of improving learning and teaching. The final RQ3 is to what extent the teacher's dialogic teaching be improved with TPDC. On how teachers ask their student effectively, 82.1% have grade 3 and 7.7% have grade 4. This means that the teacher has a strong grade, that is a score of 3 or higher, and eventually approach the very good 4 score. Here TPA comparison data 2020 and 2021 of 4 features of dialogic teaching. The 4 graphs here shows positive result from grade 2 moving towards to grade 3 and 4. This means that the teacher able to cater different student ability with range of questions and respond to the student answers, which lead to whole class engagement. So TPDC has raised teacher performance on dialogic teaching practices in the classroom, which emphasized by LNCP that enhance the pedagogical practice through a collaborative environment. According to Robinson, 2011, trust makes a difference, means that allow teachers to work together and increasingly confident, have a stronger professional community spirit, and are more willing to try new ideas. Finally, the conclusion. For the recommendation of the study, using a different condition, that is collecting data from randomly selected school but keeping it at least one variable consistent, and then experiences of older and younger teachers to see whether teacher experience can enhance classroom interaction, and the last one, TPDC can have different pedagogical contents, example learning task design, ICT, classroom management, formative assessment, and etc. The implications of these studies are the need for school administrators and policymakers to shift from a one-time training strategy to a dynamic teacher professional development approach to promote sustainability and opportunities for teacher professional learning. Then teachers should learn actively, play and work collaboratively, and execute their practices in the classroom while observing by their peers for them to learn, receiving guidance from expert teachers, and then reflect their practices. Furthermore, through TPDC, it will create leadership among teachers rather than just school administrators, bringing leadership closer to teachers to build a holistic structure centered on teacher growth. Finally, utilizing teacher data, teacher survey, and student data, the school can identify which areas of professional learnings are most needed by the teachers. So as conclusion, I concluded that PD will well designed, implemented should be regarded an important part of a comprehensive teaching and learning system. This will lead to students develop the knowledge, skills and competency. So that's all for my presentations, and thank you for your attentions. Here, I would like to say a big appreciation to Ministry of Commerce of People Republic of China for my master degree scholarship, Embassy of People's Republic of China, Brunei Darussalam, International Center Teacher Education, East China Normal University, Shanghai, and my advisor, Associate Professor Lily Zhao for her valuable guidance in this study, and Scholar Rendah Dato' Osman for welcoming and allowing me to do the study. So please scan this QR code for the evaluation of this session. Thank you. And if you have any question, please send it to my email here.